So here for you now, we have a deep dive into the LDV Campervan. Let's go. Hey guys, and welcome to the LDV Deliver9 Campervan walkthrough. So this is the MY24 model, the prior to the facelift. This is Series 1. It's quite distinct with its graphics there. You got fog lights, you got DRLs. You have your awning, you can see your air conditioning up the top there. Alloy wheels. Big sliding door with its electric step. Coming around here, you have your water fill for the tank. You have external shower. You also have your town water for when you're in the camping grounds. Down here you have your outlets for your water draining and your grey water draining. Coming round the back here, again you'll see Deliver9 has a nice high camera. Then over here you have your 10 amp outlet. I think that's the diesel heater vent. Here you have your toilet cassette, and as per normal you pull your little yellow lever and it will come sliding out. Use your key, unlock the toilet door. Now the flap in the internal toilet needs to be closed for you to lift this flap up and then pull the toilet out and do your business. You have an external TV in point. You also have a 15 amp inlet for power. And then hiding here is the 12 volt mains battery for the vehicle. So there's no windows in the back here. It's just stylized to look like windows because you actually have your niches for sleeping, which makes it 2 meters across in the rear. You have a window on this side and a window on the other side for cross-row ventilation. Opening up the rear, and you'll see we have our main lithium battery hiding here. And that's where it is. You also have a circuit breaker switch here, and there is your on-off switch there. So again, if you're leaving the motorhome for extended periods of time, you will turn your lithium battery off and your main 12 volt battery. But there is the motorhome in all of its glory. You do get a lovely reminder to watch your step, and also here is where you would release the spare wheel underneath. So there is a tool under the passenger seat or the driver's seat. So here in the driver's step to get into the cab, you'll see there is a compartment against the wall, and there is 2 pull handles. You pull these open, and this is where you'll find your jack, your tools, and your red triangle for any emergency or releasing the spare tire. The seat, and it will actually release your tire, which means unfortunately you do have to get on the ground down here, but that's for another day. Don't mind the mess. We have it currently set up as a garage, so as you can see the panel is in place to stop these things sliding forward because we're on the road. You also have your diesel heater hiding in there for venting. This is all storage, which I'll show you later. There's also storage up there. These brackets fold down once the bed is not in place. Again, I'll show that to you later. And you have a lovely little loose items netting for when you're sleeping. Let's come around. Let's go inside. Right, welcome to inside the LDV Campervan. So let's get things started. First we have to turn on this control panel. Now you have this on-off switch here for the lithium battery. It actually gives you a description here, so obviously when it is out, it is off. When it is pressed in, it is on. So we shall press it in and hold. You'll hear a couple of beeps and buzzers, and then you'll see that this screen So this is the home screen of the control panel. You can see there is the current time. There is the outdoor temperature, the indoor temperature. The time hasn't been set, obviously. You have the battery percentage of the motorhome. You have the tank levels, both fresh and grey, which are both empty at the moment. You have the rate of solar going in, and you have your inverter, which currently isn't on. So that's your home screen. If we push the 4 dots, you can take to the next screen where we can control things like the indoor lights, the outdoor lights, the ambient light, the warmed wind. Now the warmed wind is your diesel heater. It is what warms your water, and also it will warm the cabin and also the bathroom. So we'll start by turning on the ambient lighting, and then suddenly, ta-da! And we'll also turn on the entertainment like that. This Pioneer system comes on like that. And then also you have the ceiling light. So our lights are all on, and we can continue. So the first cupboard we come to is reasonable size. It has the air conditioning control unit hidden in here. We are thinking that this could be good as a pantry or something similar like that. All these cupboards are all rated at 15 kilo apparently, these hanging cupboards when you look in the instruction manual. There is also a cupboard here above the microwave. This could also be a good pantry as it actually has a little bit of depth. So you could put some taller items in here. That is the power point for your microwave, which runs through the back here for your microwave here. Now the microwave is still in its state that it came when it was delivered, when we collected it, as we haven't yet used it. This is a very new run through of the motorhome. Don't forget to actually lock your cupboards. Now, before we go any further, we'll swing back to this cupboard. Now this cupboard here, when you open it up, is your fuse box. So you have your breakers and everything in here to follow. So there's no real storage in here at all. It's just a tidy way to keep them away from view. We have another speaker for the stereo here. They also give you these lovely little pockets, so you could put some magazines or newspapers or remote controls or phones that are charging in there. And then moving down here, okay, when we open this cupboard, you'll see that there is some fuses in here. And there is also your mains turn off for your lead acid battery for the motorhome. So you have 2 batteries. You have a lithium battery which runs the Habitat, and you also have a startup lead acid battery. This one here, you will be turning off the battery if you're leaving the motorhome for like extended storage, like for 3 months, etc. So that's hidden behind here in this little cabinet. And then moving under the seat here, you also have another cabinet, also full of electrics, hiding in there, as well as a pipe for the diesel heater. So again, there's no real storage under there. You do have your outlet for the diesel heater, and you also have a lovely map pocket and some power points and some USB-C and USB-A plugs. This is all conveniently under your table, as you can see. So when you're sitting in the seat here, you can actually use those plugs. Moving to the drawers in the kitchen. Now you push your button in. Now then, very deep, we've already got a cutlery unit in here. And we've put a little bit of matting, which we probably recommend that you do, but they're slightly off square shape because obviously the plumbing for the sink runs down all the way to the grey water tank. So they're quite deep. I can fit my whole hand past my wrist into here. And both of these drawers are identical. So again, you open. Now we've got some saucepans already in this one. And as you can see from the back there, you can see that it's still that odd shape. But there's just the two drawers. And as always, make sure you lock them before you get on the move. Down the rear of the van, above the bed on both sides, so on the driver's side and here on the passenger side, you have a row of upper hanging cabinetry. They're twin doored, but as you can see, they're quite convenient because there is no divider and they are quite long, as you can see. So you can fit some quite decent storage in there, clothes, or even if you want to put some long chairs. As I said previously, these upper cabinetries are rated to hold 15 kilo or thereabouts. And it is the same on this side. So when we open this, you will see there is no divider. And they are also quite long and very useful. So on both sides of the LDV motorhome, you have these upper cabinets. Also on the rear door, on one side anyway, you get a lovely little pocket. So when you're lying in bed and the bed happens to be along here, you can put a little book or something in there. It looks very stretchy. I'm not sure how much it will hold, but it will serve a purpose. Then with the bed removed on the passenger side, so the brackets are actually down at this point in time, you have a lovely deep storage compartment. As you can see, we've already filled it with odds and ends. We have a tool bag down there. We have our hoses. We have our power cords. We have our wheel chocks. We have all sorts of things, all in these lovely wet bags. They keep from spilling anything, any mud, any dirt, any water, and just keep things organised. But that goes right down that back corner to there. So it's actually quite decent storage you have here. We'll shut that up. Going back to the wall on the passenger side here, you have a lovely soft touch reading lamp like that. You also have light switches here, so when you're in bed you can actually turn off the lights. But in saying that, that main screen down there is an all lights off. So this will only do certain ones. This will do your ambient and your lighting switch. You also have a power point. Now this switch here is your separate external switch for the fridge. So once the inverter is turned on, you can actually come here and turn your fridge on and the fridge will come on. You have a lovely panel here for power, telling you what power you have, AC, DC, your temperature gauge, your mode, and you can have a snooze or a quick chill. Now, there's handles down the bottom here. You push them up and you open the fridge. And the freezer, I should say, is a decent size. Same as the fridge. The handle is in here. You push that down. And again, it's the largest fridge. We still haven't taken the plastic out because you're having the benefit of a look when we have just first brought it home. A feature here in the laneway between the bathroom and the microwave in the kitchen is this max turbo fan. Now this fan is quite simple. You have a button here. You push that button and push the lever up equally on both sides to open the fan like so. And then you have an on-off switch. Simple as that. That is your extraction fan for your habitat. Now it will only pull out the air from inside. It will not suck any air in. It spins the one way. There is no reversing this fan. There is also a fuse, so if it's not working, it has an inbuilt fuse to change. And obviously it says not to have this extended when you're driving. So we'll turn that off, and to pull it down is the same process. Once the fan stops spinning, you will come up and push the button and then pull it back down till it's locked in place. And that's done. That is your max fan for the habitat. Right, so to get a few things happening, we shall turn the inverter on just like that. You'll hear a beep. And there's always a little green dot above something to tell you that it's actually on and active, which is a great little feature. So now that the inverter's on, you'll see here that the inverter is drawing, and it is telling you what it is getting ready for drawing, which means we should be able to turn on, well, the microwave is on. If we come round to the switch here, we should be able to turn on the fridge, and the fridge comes on just like that. So it tells you we're in DC mode at the moment because we're using the inverter, we're not plugged into the mains. And then the fridge will start running. Right, give you a sneaky peek in the bathroom. So we'll open this handle. Now, first of all, we'll go straight to the fan and the light up top here. So if we turn this switch on, we get our bright LED lights, and you can wind the fan up. And there is a switch here for 1 or 2 speed, and the fan will go on. So that's brilliant. Coming down here, you have a rail. You have your hook where your actual tap becomes your shower head. So this actually pulls out like that, and that will go across round here and become your shower head. You have some niches. You have your toilet, which you can actually spin to create more space while you're standing here in the shower, or depending on how you like to sit on the toilet with your flush mechanism. It also has a huge shower and a shower curtain here. The shower curtain does need to be pulled across and looped in these hooks, top and bottom, because this door doesn't have any waterproofing. You need to obviously stop the amount of water egress from the shower into the habitat. Now, it may not be too obvious, but I've just realized that with your sliding door shut when you are sleeping of a night time, you can't actually pull the fly screen across, mainly to do with this lovely piece of plastic, which is the guide rail for opening the door. It would actually puncture your fly screen. So in actual fact, the fly screen ends up being locked. You can't pull it, which I think is a fantastic feature when your door is shut. For other storage above the cab, you have these little, I suppose you would call them Luton storage, even though there is no Luton in this motorhome, but they'd be perfect for your traveling maps, your camp books, anything like that you want to put up there, or maybe some soft, like a travel pillow or something. They're not very deep, and I'm sure they're being lightweight plastic, they're probably not meant to hold too much, but they're there nonetheless. Good for storage. Now we'll just get this mattress out of the way, because there is also some small storage on the driver's side under here. You'll also notice, first of all, there is another heating outlet here, and there is actually ventilation for the diesel heater behind. This piece of board does actually come through, and it will lock into place there like so. And it becomes dual purpose. It becomes a barrier for turning this into a garage while you're driving, or because this is reinforced with a second piece of wood, you can use this as a step to get up into the bed once it has been built of a night time. And it's as simple as locking it back in place like so. You won't be able to move that. Obviously, if these brackets are up, these are the brackets which actually support your bed. So there is a little lever. Can I get that? So now we're just going to pull that lever out like that. That will collapse. And they obviously need to be down for you to walk through. And there is 2 of those. Right, we've successfully moved the mattress to the other side. Now, they actually do provide you with a little pull tab, and that will lift this up. And you can see that there is 2 doored bins here. This one is screwed down because beneath that is the diesel heater and the lithium battery. But this side here is storage. Let's go ahead and open it up. Now again, when you're resting that on there, at least you have a lovely finger recess here to grab it from, and this is where your bed will go down. So looking in here, again, quite deep. That will come off. And then you've got access here. So as you can see, there's your diesel heater with all your piping and your plumbing, your tank, I think. And again, the ones that I don't want you to get to, that actually is the lithium battery behind there. You can see the light that it's on. But this is a quite generous, very deep storage area. Another bonus of the LDV motorhome. Right, now all the lights are on, and we're actually going to pack down now. So you'll come to the screen and you'll notice it has gone to sleep. So you just have to tap the screen will illuminate. We've lost 1% battery while we've been talking, and the time has changed, obviously. So therefore what we're going to do is go to the second screen. So as I said before, you can either swipe. If you don't want to swipe, you can just touch the 4 little grids and it will take you there. So we will turn off the ceiling light. We will turn off the ambient light. And now we will turn off the entertainment unit. You can go back to home, it doesn't really matter, but then to close the screen down, you come back to your main lithium switch here, and you will actually turn that off. And it will just take a few seconds for it to all shut down. Like so. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this vlog all the way through to this point. If you like this kind of content, please click like and subscribe. It really does help the channel. It's free to do, and I'd really appreciate it. And if I have answered all of your questions, fantastic. If I haven't, look out for another video. Maybe I'll answer them there, or why not just drop a comment below and ask me the question direct. I may even tailor a video for that question. Anyhow, thanks again, and look out for the bonus.
Here's a bonus!
Okay, we've just unwound the awning on the LDV Campervan, and we're now pulling the feet out. They sit snugly in the front fascia of the awning, and they just pull out like that. So you can see that this arm actually articulates. So that will swing round like so. Then you have to release this lever and slide your leg and your foot down to the ground. Make sure your foot is flat, and then when your awning needs to be tight, just you can move this up and down, and then just make sure that you actually push that lever tight. Now for extra stability, you can add a tie-down strap to the front fascia. I'll include photos for that. But then in reverse, we'll go over here and put this side away. So much, basically it's in reverse. So you will release the tension on this clip. You'll grab the bottom of the foot and take it into the sleeve, and you will turn your foot flat to match the fascia of the arm. You will then lift this up and turn it sideways, sitting neatly in here, and you'll see that here is sitting proud. You just need to push that home like so, and the whole thing clips away. And then you're ready to wind your awning back in again.
Thanks.